Another big crazy day in the market. I'm going to be changing up what we're doing here just a little bit, keeping the same exact format as we've had, and on days like today I'll still talk about the market a little bit like I've been doing, and other than that, when the market's not in play, I won't even be talking about the market. And we're going to look at the watch list like we've been doing, so you can pause. Then we're going to do the 3-minute tutorial on the lines as usual. But when I get to the part where I'm going through the charts, I'm going to have to pick up the pace. I need to put out a video for my subscribers that's a private video, and I can't spend 45 minutes on this one. I will be still showing you the charts. I'm going to toggle down them. I'm going to be about 5 seconds per chart. When I do see something that's intriguing, especially if it's coming out of a consolidation period, what we're trying to find here, which you're not finding much of with all this radical movement in the market, we will be I'll try to mention it, but other than that, I'm just going to be toggling right through, not talking. I'm going to remind you what to look at on that chart, and then of course you can pause the video at any time, go to the watch list and look at your own charts. Thanks for watching our videos. Continue to support our channel and come over and check out our website. Talk about the market for a moment. This is the DIA's ETF, tracks the Dow. Yesterday I shared with you, I put this out on Stock Twits about right before 12 o'clock, that if it went up to 254.85, which went to 74, or 255.25, in that range, to look for a reversal. Of course, I didn't know we was going to get this much sell-off, but to look for that reversal that we picked up here, and it ended up accelerating and continued in today because we lost 50-day yesterday. I'm going to share this chart with you. This is our proprietary subscription service. I was looking at the DIA right here. This is the futures over here. Right when this occurred, I was watching the DIA in this area, and I said it's going to retrace, and when it does, it's going to sell off. Now I'm looking for that retrace anywhere from where it did retrace all the way up to what keeps me what I call my red zone. Our proprietary software actually calculates what it takes to turn it based on our factor system and our algos. Right now, end of the day, it's telling me at 248.10 can turn the DIA back up. That don't mean it will. Normally, what I like to do with this is, as it approaches these levels, it'll give me those numbers, and as long as I stay in my red zone or don't get outside of a small tolerance level, I keep retracing to reshort. Now this wouldn't be an alert for a reshort because it didn't go up far enough, but anytime I get a far enough reversal, and this is what I teach in our videos, we get the sell-offs, and then we'll get a 4 to 6 factor reversal, and then we'll take the we don't want to take the reversal because we don't know when it's going to occur or exactly how far it may go. We want to take the reshort for day trading, or keep yourself in your longer term trade if you're swing trading. And these work on charts as well as the DIA here. This is actual futures contracts. Same time yesterday, when I predicted this was going to happen, here's where the futures was. The futures did this pivot about an hour and a half before this pivot occurred here. And the futures had already started down. And you see today, when the market tried to do the bounce, this is what I alert on our stocks, and it works the same on the futures. It goes right to where it needs to. It's either going to turn, and my predictor will give the value required to take it into the green zone, or it's going to reverse. If it holds in the right spot, we'll give the signal for the retrace reversal. And this, both times today, held where it was supposed to hold and just kept going down. These little indicators down here, all they are is telling me that these are becoming true. If I got a 3 and a 4x, the 3x is what overrides the 4x, and that's what these little graphs are, just true false statements. And when they come in, I know I'm getting near my trend shift pivot zone, and if I don't hold, then I may reverse, or at least I'm out of the short. This is real time. About 30-40 minutes ago is where the future stood after hours, and this is the bigger picture. Same DIA chart on the left. The bigger picture, stepping out of level for a longer term trade. The bigger the factors we use, the longer term the indicator, or the bigger move it can imply, and it's more for the bigger numbers or more swing trading. This is yesterday, this was this morning, the bounce. So the bigger factor said this is going short and went into the red zone along in here yesterday. Then today, when it bounced, it went right exactly where it's supposed to go in that tolerance level and rejected this morning, and this is what you get. Now this may go back up, and my proprietary indicator is telling me that as I project out what can happen if this goes up to 27.04 on the futures. This is my red zone level that I want to stay within my tolerance to keep this trade intact. So bounce all the way to 27.04. These lines should come together if that happens, or get right in that same general vicinity. And if it doesn't, it could actually go above the line. It would have to go above probably to trigger that. But I know I'm approaching it. Once I get a possibility of a trend shift trigger, then I know I'm when it gets in that area, I need to be looking for my continued downtrend. If I don't get the reversal, then you have to get out of trade. But that's kind of what it looks like right here. The market's still very weak. I figure if the futures go up into this area, I don't know exactly where right now. I know what it was. This is not where these lines come together. This is where, like you can see, this came together here, but my red zone short was not till down here much later. So that this isn't where they intersect. It's actually where my proprietary indicator says, okay, it's no longer a short. But I'll be looking for this to go back, do exactly what we've been getting here, and continue down in a bigger downtrend based on what we're looking at right now. We'll finish up the market here on the regular charts. Let's look at the Dow 30 real quick. I can't type. Here's where we were today. Let's get on the daily. We broke the 50 yesterday. Remember I told you if we went back up and tested it, we'd probably reject. On your SPY, that's exactly what happened. Intraday we went up, touched the 50-day, which currently is at 273.07, and rejected. Sometimes, and that's right where that happened intraday after we sold off. We tested it, we failed it, and that's what you get. SP 500 did not go all the way to the test today. It got close, and if the SPY had continued up further, I believe when this would have got there, we'd have rejected there too, but we didn't go quite that far, so it didn't even take that much. The SPY is all they needed to turn them down. So this is where we stand. We're going down more, it looks like. These are your trend lines. Out on the weekly we talked about yesterday, your intersection right now, if we continue down, this lower trend lines are one we want to concentrate on. It's drawn on a weekly chart. I don't think we'll get there this week, but I think we may get there next week. So that would be a bar over, and that would line up currently down in this 2600 area. And I believe that we're going back to test that. I may be wrong. It's a highly likely that we need buyers today. And of course the market got another boost down. It didn't need much to make it go down anyway. But that's where we stand on the markets. Now let's look at these watch list. Here's your daily bulls. You had 4 stocks on there. We'll look at the charts in a minute. Allow you to pause your video and see the the list that you've got to work with. Your weekly bulls still there, same thing from yesterday, and the bears kind of got a bigger list today of adding to the list for the week so far, of course. And I'm going to slide this down so you get a chance to pause this video and take a look at the entire list. And then we're going to walk you through some charts and show you our true false statements that are down here on the bottom of the video. We're going to do the tutorial real quick to explain that to you, walk you through the charts, and I'll wind this down. Thanks for watching. Through time, I've got several comments and emails from viewers that don't subscribe to our services but do watch our videos and basically say, hey man, I'm getting some good trades off your videos. I wish there's a way I could contribute, and I don't want to sign up for a membership. So I finally went and made a donation button. You can find it two places. On any video, we're included at the bottom. You just click the show more button, and shortly down there you'll see support our channel, a donation through PayPal. You can click right here, pay through or make a donation through PayPal. Any amount you want to put in there is acceptable and appreciated. And then on our website you can go to daytradersetups.com, press the YouTube menu item, it'll take you to this page, and there's a donate button there as well. And we appreciate that, appreciate the suggestion. And thank you ahead of time for any donations sent. We appreciate it a lot. This is a mini tutorial on what the lines mean on my charts if you're a first time viewer or been a while since you viewed. We're scanning on weekly and daily charts for my condition. When this green line is up, it's my bull zone, and when the red line is up, it's my bear zone. You need to be aware of support and resistance lines and what charts do at levels, and that's what these levels are for. Just quickly as I can do this, and we're going to put a video on YouTube getting more from your swing trading charts that'll be more detailed and look at more stocks, how they react to these lines. But the gist of what you see here is this is what I'm scanning for, and as you can see here, this showed up in the bear zone. It did go down for a few days, but these green lines are support, and that's why it fought for a few days, tried to bounce back up, headed back down again, came right back into the bull zone, a bear zone, excuse me, and continued on down. Now the lines, here's what they represent. A green line is a place that a stock went up to and rejected. So as this green line redrew itself every time we made highs right here, and then it stayed across here for reference points, continues the same line here for reference points. Resistance, when you get above it, becomes support. This green line was drawn way back in the history, and when this stock broke above this resistance level, when it came back down, it held it, it held it, it held it, it tested it and held it again and again. That was support. That's why I want you to be aware of what these lines mean. You'll see them on my charts. And then the activity that stocks do, sometimes they go, that's my first target, that's my second target. Many times stocks go target 1, pull back a little, target 2, then they may pull all the way back to 1 and go again if they're continuing an uptrend. In this case, it did the pull back. This blue line is a 50 period moving average, this orange line is a 200. So that's what I want you to be aware of as well. And then I have a pivot system that consists of this blue line at the top, yellow line at the bottom, and my target 1 and target 2. You'll see this particular day this stock gapped down, huge gap down, open way down here. The low on this stock was 169.68. I'm getting that right out of this box over here, and the value of that yellow line was 169.67. Within 1 cent it held that line and bounce that day for a huge bounce. It's not a support level, but it's where I look for stocks to try to hold. It's where I look, if I'm short, say from here, this is where I'm looking to get out. I'm looking to move two levels, target 1, target 2, going up, target 1, target 2. The pink lines all represent places the stock has gone down to and bounced. This pink line is referencing this last pivot low. So as you're selling down into it, it may bounce again. If you get below it, then it becomes resistance. And that's all these lines mean. I just want you to know what they mean going forward. Thanks for watching the video. Let's get started. I started a little bit late on recording the video. We are going to try to get this out a lot earlier since we're speeding up the process. And I was analyzing what I wanted to show you on the markets there before I got into the video. Here's your weeklies. We had Dillard's coming here 2 days ago. Still had an update today. BVT came in yesterday, had a small update today as well. I'm going to do the weekly bears last. No, I'm going to go ahead and do them now. That's the biggest thing. Our dailies are going to be a really short list. There's going to be a lot of them. Remember, this is your area that we triggered during the week. The value, you can go back to your own charts on the daily and see if it crossed it today or yesterday. The quick thing you can do in the columns over here is here's the trigger price, here's the profit based on that trigger price, here's the profit for the day. So if this was not profit for the day, the actual net for the day. So this triggered yesterday. This one's 26-cent profit since the trigger, down 59 cents today, so this one triggered today. We do put the earnings in the columns from TC2000 if they're correct, and like AMBA shows on 3-1 had earnings. So so if you see something, you realize the earnings could have had something to do with it. And I'm just going to walk these through about every 5 seconds. And you can pause the chart, you can look, you can see where they are on my target levels, you can see where they're coming into these support resistance lines. And we're looking for consolidation, remember. And you can see something like this is not breaking from consolidation. This is your true for the bears right here. Like this was true for bulls. You're looking down, if you see multiple, if you see it up here and then you see it up here again, you know it's just a re-acceleration, not the original alert. And that's what I want you to see here. That's the only reason I'm showing you these charts. So you can see if this is the original alert or if it's a re-alert. And then this little dotted line, you like for it to get solid. Once it gets solid, that's your trend stability. That's what lights up this little red bar right here. You want to keep the yellow lit up and the red lit up. Once you get the red lit up, that means it's not going high enough at any time for me not to still feel strong about the way this is working. This is one that's losing your weekly support from that last low. This is second day on this. I remember this yesterday. Dish is just continuation. You know, you can see here, this is when the downfall started, and it's just getting a little stronger. It's definitely not any kind of consolidation there. This is coming out of consolidation up at the top of this period here. So you got something a little more interesting here. Just at target 1, got lots of room for some downside here. First week on the list, probably first day. Second day on this, lost support yesterday. This is a re-entry. This is what I want you to concentrate on. This kind of broke out of a base here and has been accelerating ever since it first showed up, and nothing's wrong with this trade. Not really consolidation there on that. Somewhat here. You're breaking from a consolidated area for quite a while on the weekly here, and you're accelerating. First time coming in the bear zone. Your red bar here, and you got a support line right here. Continuation here, losing some support lines. You need to hold here really bad. That's 126.07. That is a consolidation area. This is definitely a consolidation area. Hadn't really broke out yet, but it's got the first little tingle of coming into the bear zone. And remember, it's a weekly chart. The bar hadn't closed yet is the point. This is your trigger bar. Not really consolidation here, or a consolidation break away from the consolidation. These are just stocks that are now getting weak enough in the downtrend, but not really coming out of a consolidation area. I'm going to slide this down a little more. This we talked about yesterday in the support lines here, and actually had a green day. Same thing on this stock, had a green day. And you're fighting this support area. That's why it's holding here. I don't know if it can continue to hold, but that's why it's holding right now. And those stand out, the green days. You know, there's only 2 or 3 of them that had a green day in this down market. I need to get back on a weekly chart for you. This is a re-entry into the bear zone. First time there today. 50 weeks of blue line. Now this here, I was just looking for something I could give you this reference. When this came down and went in bear zone, it was along in this area. Now that, just to point out to you, these lines recalculate as we work down, so this is a new bear zone entry into a little bit lower level than the first trigger, but it's still off the first original. Just been 2 inside weeks at the 50-week blue line there. Somewhat of a little consolidation up top in this area, so this could be something to this developing for a bigger move down. PRGO. This little line right here I drew on the chart intraday today is the level 4 cent above this line right here below. It's a place that it bounced in the past, and this was actually one of our bigger trades in the trade room today. There's plenty of stocks out there to trade. You just had to pick one or several. We didn't. We traded about 6 symbols. What I did on this was right off the similar chart that I showed you on the DIA. I was already in the downtrend, and so I saw the bounce, and I picked this up on a scanner and went back in. I think I had it on here because it had earnings a couple of days too. I think I actually had it on a chart. So I called it short as it went up here, and we got this short here about $1.50, and then got out and when it bounced again, it went right back to the level that it's supposed to go to, and it held and gave the trigger again for the reshort. Now, the way we work those is based on the factor. This was actually on a 25 factor chart. So I know my prediction is it goes down, it bounces 3 to 4 factors, so that'd be $1 on a 25 factor. Then it'll drop between 6 and 8. You got right here 81.15 roughly down to $79. That's $2. That just happens to be 8 factors, don't it? So it gave the expected move down, got out. As it bounced back, it came back up about 4 factors again and came right back into, we look at our retracement level for this retracement setup, and we want to go back. We're not interested in the little wiggle and back down. We're interested in a big enough move, 3 to 4 factors, and we go back to the red zone area to hold in the area, and we get that reversal right at the level we're supposed to get it. Then we want to give enough reversal. We don't try to take it at the top. We want a confirmation, and I use a minimum of 2 factors. So it has to reverse back at least 50 cents to even show up. And it has to go up far enough to even qualify. Because I don't care enough about one that just went up here and chops around. I don't want to get in that trade. So anyway, this set up twice today. Got about $1.50 the first time, a little over $1 the second time. And then the market was doing a lot of crazy moves toward the end of the day, and I didn't trade anything. I actually quit trading about 2:45 to 3. So it made me think of this. One of our guys that traded options did well on this today. This broke down yesterday. This morning it gave the bounce right where it's supposed to go to. It failed, chopped around, and can just continue to work the system like it's supposed to. Back on our weeklies. PTLA, I think had earnings a couple of days ago. Broke this consolidation really strong yesterday, and today was down another. This might have been earnings today because it shows net change of $10. Yeah, it was today. Gap down was today. I knew it was in earnings. It was actually today. So you wouldn't have a $13 profit because you can't trade the gap. ROK, first time in here. This is a little consolidation of this area up here. Really needs to hold in this area. This triggered pretty much early this morning right off the chute. 427 profit from the breakdown level, 463 for today. Revisiting here, not really a consolidation, but it is just getting caught with the market sell-off. This is definitely not consolidation. Same thing, a lot of these charts look just alike. And that's the weekly bears. We'll look at those. We already did the 2 bulls. We'll get over and hit those few dailies real quick. We'll run the recap for you and wind this down. While you're here, be sure to subscribe to our channel and follow us on Twitter or StockTwits at Daytrader Setups. And our website is daytradersetups.com and swingtradersetups.com. Don't forget, this video is being brought to you by our premium alerts at swingtradersetups.com. They're real-time alerts. They're posted on our website, and we're looking at our bull zone weekly and daily breakouts, and our bear zone weekly and daily breakouts that are in one category on the website. And there are other categories that are more aggressive for the more active trader as well. And by having a subscription to that service, you get all these alerts intraday as they happen. And one subscription gets you access to everything, as well as our chart system. If you would like to get it, I can set you up a couple of different ways to have the green and pink lines available for your charts as you review. Let's go forward. We'll do the bulls first. We don't have a lot to look at here. Get on the daily chart. BBY, a little gap up here this morning. It's starting the momentum area. Had earnings. Now whether it continues with the market like it is, that has to be seen. The CRM, of course, you know that was earnings, gap up, and as usual it sold off. CRM, I never see a great trade on CRM as far as follow through on the day after earnings. It just usually gaps so much the night before. I don't even look at this. All this stuff here, this 15-minute chart, I can't day trade that. Not interested in it, never looked at it. I looked at it very early, and it's when then I glanced back a couple of times, but as far as even thinking about trading it, I did not. They did blow it away, and they may be a great trade several days coming up. This stock has been is breaking from a consolidation, long consolidation area here. It's picking up the momentum. Picked up a little bit back here a few times. It's not a big runner, but this is pretty strong, and it's been filling this gap all the way. It's almost to the top of the gap, and that's always, the gap is a resistance area, so you're about through the gap, and it is picking up a little more acceleration here. And actually on a weekly chart is a pretty nice looking chart here, and I'm sure there's a lot of people been in a long time. Very good looking chart. And ONCE on the daily, it tried to break out a couple of days ago, got caught up in this market sell-off, and had a good day today. That's pretty impressive actually, to have this day in this market. And here's your weekly chart. It's trying to fill this gap, but this looks pretty good actually. I don't know what the intraday action was on it. Pretty good action there too. I trade this occasionally. Pretty interesting looking the way the chart's setting up though. Look at the bears. Down into support. First time showing up. Kind of a re-acceleration of this long base, so there's something to that. Needs to hold that support line. You got a support level here. This is not a consolidation break. Not a tight consolidation anyway. If it fails here though, it's got some more downside. This is just laying down on this. This is kind of a consolidation laying down here on a weekly. Looks pretty bad, and is making a new low or testing the previous lows. I think this was earnings gap down today, if I remember right. Look at this stock actually through the day. A lot of little chop. There was some little trades here. I like a little bigger setup, but that was probably some people made some money on that, I'm sure. Plenty of things to short today. It wasn't hard to find a trade. First day into the bear zone. Not a consolidation break. And this is not a consolidation break either. It's just a continuation down. And that's all the dailies. We'll do the recap sheet and get you out of here. I don't want to spend any time on this other than let you look at it. You've been watching the videos long enough to understand what these columns mean. I spent about 8 minutes talking about the markets. Kept the video to about 30 minutes. Without the markets, hopefully we can keep this thing in the 15 to 20 minute range each evening. Just letting you pause the video. You can see the chart. You can see what's holding the yellow green levels, the dots. Slide these up where you can see, make sure you're seeing everything on the bottom of this list here, and you are. And we'll get the bears on here. Remember, these goes back 5 days. This is your current week that we've been reviewing. So you've already seen this list. This is today, yesterday, day before, day before, day before. Go back 4 days for them. We track you. We start tracking the price that we put them in the bear zone. We give you the profit level as it continues to go forth from that level, and we let you know if we're staying momentum in our favor, we're keeping the highs low enough to stay in our trend stability, and even though the bear zone recalculates lower, we're staying in that zone. That's what all these little bit of information's for. And then of course you can see what the net change for the day was. This is a good example. We triggered this yesterday at 157.73. The profit right now is 277 from the time of the alert. If you're on our live alert system off our website, you can watch these same alerts on 400 stocks. You cannot watch it on 5,000. I scanned in here for you. And this is the P&L at the low, at the peak is what this is, and that carries forward for the full 5 days, so you can kind of track in here. That's all we have for you. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel if you hadn't done that yet. Come over and check out our website. $69 a month. You can subscribe to our alert service, and you will have to learn how to define your watch list. You can't come in and watch 400 symbols alerts and make any money. You have to create you a watch list, filter out the alerts, zone in on what you want to know about, and we'll tell you how to trade them.